Okay. So I think this is the last one I need. I think we'll be alright. Of course, that was the last one we needed. The reflect's been working pretty well so far, so I haven't taken it off for this one, but this time it was the same thing. The TKO didn't work, and of course it targeted Walker as well. The chances of that little combination is not that high, but we're nearly there. Of course, it's an ambush. Go away. Come on, Walker. Good. Here comes that 75%. Yes, it worked this time. Good. Okay, so that's another one off the list. So we literally have 2 more left to capture. We need to head to Beaconell next. They're a pretty common encounter in Beaconell, the alley cones, whatever you call them.
You're counting on you, kid.
And we're still playing it today. We're still going to be playing it in 25 more years' time. You can believe that. If I'm still around, I'll still be playing. Again, I'll hang near... Oh, crap. That was dangerous. I need to remember to get my first strikes on now. We're kind of midway through the game, so we're starting to encounter much more dangerous things now. Places where, like, ambush, for example, could be very deadly. It's probably the biggest chance of a game over. Well, this and Gagazette, to be fair. Alright, let's be a bit more careful here. Okay. I still want to swap in Walker. That'll be one of the easiest ways to deal with it, so I'll keep going. Okay, 2 at once. Let's do... I think Titus can just deal with this himself, honestly. Or let's do this. There you go, there's our first one. But this might take a while because Titus is going to miss a lot, but he can get it done. Yeah, I definitely heard about the console price thing. I mean, fortunately for me, I never had an interest in getting the PS5 Pro anyway. And well, the PlayStation 6 seems to be a long way away still. So I don't think I have much need of a console. Yeah, just gonna again rely on Titus here. Evade encounter, just doing his thing. Just dancing around him. I think the only thing I'm a little sad about, specifically about the whole like increase in tech price, obviously in general it's shit, but specifically for me I'm more interested in trying to get a Steam machine when it gets announced, just to kind of have something permanently next to my TV that I can just use for my own casual gaming, because for now I have my PS5 anyway, but I have a lot of games on Steam, and I have a Steam Deck, which is fine, but obviously there's a limit to what that thing can run. So a Steam Deck would be really cool to have. Not a Steam Deck, a Steam machine. But I fear that the price of that, the launch price of that, is going to be probably a lot higher than maybe they intended. Because the Steam Deck was such a bargain when it came out. I think it was like £350 when it came out. And I've got way more than £350 worth of gaming out of that thing. I've played like a ton of stuff on it, so... hopefully the Steam machine still somehow manages to be very reasonably priced. And if so, I'll probably grab one. And yes, I still have a PS Vita. I had one for a long time, and then I lost it while I was on a flight somehow. I'm normally very good about that stuff, but I lost it, and then I didn't have one for about a year and a half. And then my fiance got me one for my birthday again last summer, and so now it's back to traveling with me. I use that as more of like a retro game emulator at this stage, honestly, but it's an incredible machine. It was really ahead of its time, the PS Vita. Okay, so we literally have a trip to Gagazette left, and then hopefully we can get ourselves those Supreme Gems.
Yeehaw! Here we go!
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a great device to play in Final Fantasy X. If you're the kind of person that doesn't get much time to play on consoles or on the TV, and obviously you want Final Fantasy X on the go, Steam Deck's great, but I mean, PS Vita is literally pocket-sized. It's insane. So, definitely worth considering. And I think used PS Vitas are relatively cheap these days. It's a different experience. I think it's better for, like, replaying. If it's your first ever time, I probably wouldn't recommend playing it on the Vita, but I think for a replay, it's been pretty cool. Hey Ave, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Grinding AL stats for Dark Amnos on the Vita. That's smart. That's a smart way to do it. I remember I did that for Final Fantasy X-2. I remember I was trying to do something. I forgot exactly what it was. It's maybe when I went back to the Via Infinito. And I was I needed to grind stats, so I needed to do something that was time consuming. I remembered that it had the cross-save feature. And I basically started taking my Vita with me to work. And when I had time at work, I was just basically grinding. It's pretty funny. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Switch Lite does Final Fantasy X World 2 and it's very small. Okay, yeah, good point. I mean, it's kind of wild that these days we have so many ways to play Final Fantasy X. Are there any phones that can play it? I've been curious these days, like phone processors have become so strong. Can you download PS2 emulators on phones, like the kind of high, top of the range phones, and emulate PS2 and play Final Fantasy X? Has anyone ever tried that? Is it possible? It would be kind of cool to have Final Fantasy X, like, literally on my phone nowadays. Okay, yeah, people have emulated on their phones. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, here's our first customer here. Wow. Is anyone on iOS? I know it's probably a bit easier to do these things on Android, but curious if anyone's on iOS. I think for this one we could Dream Powder, right? Ah, crap, it's too powerful. I think Sleeping Powder's the right one. Damn it. Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal. I definitely wouldn't want to play Final Fantasy X on my phone. For me, it's just, I was more curious, like, is it possible? And the fact that it is crazy. Yeah, it needed to be the powder. The Dream one was too strong. I don't think I have I don't think I have many Sleeping Powders, honestly. Yeah, capturing this one's going to be a little more annoying, I think, compared to the others, but... Yeah, I think the processing power nowadays of smartphones, it feels almost overkill. Like, the fact that we have smartphones powerful enough to, like, run PS2 emulators. Most of what we do on our smartphones just doesn't need that stuff. It's kind of crazy. Francisco, shush, we only notice when it doesn't work in the stream, okay? Like that, for example. You see that? How about that for 75%? Yeah, there's quite a few different encounters here, so that guy's not going to appear as frequently. I wonder, are we more likely to get that encounter in the Sunken Cave or in... Because I think it's the same one, right? Alright, let's see. Do we have any sleeping pounders? We've got 10. We'll try and put them to use. I think Oren should be strong enough to take it out, yeah. Oh no, he doesn't have the capture weapon. Shit, I changed it. Ah. That's 2 of them I've wasted now. My bad. But that's the strat. You just have to... I was literally thinking it's 103 Walker could do it too, but then I was like, why would I need to swap him in? What's the point? And that was the point. Yeah. Still haven't had a game over yet, so I'd consider this a success so far. But yeah, foolish move, because I've been swapping and changing Oren's weapon the whole time. Like, I've been having him on capture for a little bit as well. But we're nearly there. Okay, let's do this right. $92. Walker has a capture weapon. There you go. Wait. Yeah, okay, hold on. That's correct, sorry. I crossed out the wrong one on my list. I crossed out the Imp instead of the Air Rogue. So we need 4 more of those guys. Honestly, get some fire gems as well. Why not? Yeah, I personally don't love like the massive phones either. I've always preferred like not. I think nowadays like I found like an old iPhone 6 or something lying around like that size. I think it's too small for me still, but I don't like the sort of the Pro Max Plus whatever kind of phones that are absolutely huge. They're more like tablets. Those are too big. Yeah, it's kind of wild how phones like completely destroyed. I think in the UK at least it was a product called a TomTom. I think they were the famous ones. They were called TomToms. They were like a sat nav before phones completely took over the game. Apparently the name is Aroge. Aroge? I read it as Aero DJ and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Who the hell is Aero DJ? I kind of want those dream powders, and now he's going to fail to escape, and we're going to have a game over here. 75%. Okay. Yeah, these are risky moves. Two in a row. Also, one thing I've been noticing, I don't know if you guys can kind of see, I think next to some people's names or some posts or something, I see like I think it's a symbol for translation. I think now in like live streams and chats and stuff, they have some kind of auto-translate. Yeah, you're right. The lightning-proof one, yeah, they're both victorious, but one is more... I need to add the water protection to this one as well. That's going to potentially help me. I need to remember to do that. Oof. Come on. They're not the most frequent encounter ever. But yeah, I do think there's some kind of auto-translate thing. I mean, generally, that's cool. Obviously, with the 24/7 stream, one issue we had is just sometimes people just start coming in and just start chatting, almost basically talking to themselves in like a completely different language. It's like we cannot understand what you're saying. We can't moderate the stream because we don't know what people are saying. So it was very like difficult for us. We were always like we're trying to build a community, and to build a community, you kind of need people that can communicate with each other. 2 failed escapes in a row, by the way. Again, supposedly 1 in 16 chance of that happening. And so yeah, it had to be something we were like relatively strict on. But now I guess if it auto translates stuff anyway, we're kind of none the wiser, right? So if it helps people communicate with each other more seamlessly, then it's cool. Oh yeah, the automatic audio dubbing is wild, but yeah, I think it's an auto translate thing that's being rolled out in live stream chats. I think I can basically choose to have it toggled on or off, but I don't really see the disadvantage of having it off. When do you plan to do the Expedition 33 DLC? Funny you should ask, actually. Last week, I recorded basically the rest of what I wanted to do with Expedition 33. Basically, I think I decided in the end to not do the DLC for now, because I still had enough to do. I had to get like the rest of the records, I had to find the lost gestrels, I had to get the rest of Minoko's abilities, and then I had to do Flying Manor, which is a relatively big dungeon, and it already had like a whole bunch of high-level enemies and bosses. And then Clea, and I think once I was done with that, I was kind of like, I don't really want to go and do the DLC now, which has a lot more like rehashes of the same kind of stuff we've been fighting and stuff. So what I'm going to do is next week, I'm going to upload Monday to Friday. There's going to be 5 more episodes of Expedition 33, and it's going to well and truly wrap up the series. Basically, I ended up doing all of the achievements, so I have like the Platinum Trophy now for Expedition 33. And the DLC I'll leave for like another time. Maybe if they announce like a new game, or a sequel, prequel, something like that, or some kind of anniversary of the game and I'm feeling nostalgic, then I'll jump back in. But for now, at least, if it was more of a story DLC, I definitely would have just continued on and done it. But it's more of a just like a thank you, have some fun, fight stuff, like new flavors of super bosses. But I think I've kind of had my fill of it for now. It's not super motivating to me, so I think I'll leave the DLC for now. Yeah, as a live stream, maybe. Oh god. Oh wait, no. Can Waka kill this thing in one hit? I hope so. He probably can't. I don't know. Let me just change Auron's weapon. Let's just make sure here, because they're not appearing very frequently. There we go. Hey Sen, welcome to the stream. Anybody here, Witcher 3 is getting new DLC 10 years after Blood? I thought I heard some rumors about that. I wasn't sure if it was legit or not. I think I heard about it a while back, but I'm not sure. And yes, part of the reason I didn't want to do the DLC as well and start getting bogged down with more super bosses and whatnot was because I really wanted to move on to Dark Souls. And so I kind of jumped back in with Expedition 33. I think it took like 4 or 5 hours to do what I wanted to do. And then I was like, I think that's enough. It was a nice little return, but I want to move on now. So later on this week, or early next week, I'm going to record the first session of Dark Souls. And Dark Souls will hopefully be releasing not this coming Saturday, but the next Saturday. So that's the general plan. Next week, there's going to be 5 episodes of Expedition 33 on top of the usual stuff. And then we're going to have Dark Souls starting on the channel, and that's going to be like a regular playthrough. I think like 3 episodes a week we'll do, something like that. Nice, another one. Let's again try and do this right. Won't take a chance here. There we go. So I think that's number 3. Yeah, definitely looking forward to Dark Souls a lot. It's taken me a long time, and I basically played everything, almost everything else they made other than Dark Souls series, but it's gonna be good to get into that. Yeah, I have a funny feeling you probably will. Hey Neo, welcome to the stream. We are almost done with our preparations for Overdrive Sin. Just need to capture... I'm probably going to do a couple more of these imps. I think I need one more after this. Yeah, Waka can deal with that. Okay. One more left. Started Liza P. Yeah, Liza P was, again, that's another Steam Deck game that I played kind of off-channel in my own time last year. I had a good time with it. It was a good game. Haven't done the DLC for it, but definitely enjoyed the main game. It's tough. It's definitely tough, but good game. Okay, one more. Let's go. Tried Liza P on Steam Deck and it was dark for me. Could barely see anything. Weird. I didn't have that issue. No, haven't played anything like Octopath. That one felt a bit too... Those games felt a bit too long. I didn't want to play anything like that much that had that kind of runtime. 101, I think we're fine. Okay, so I think that's the 5 that we needed. This run has inspired me to get my impossible run finished on my Vita Unalesca now. Good stuff. Good luck with that. Exactly, fajitas. That for me, that's how. Basically, if I didn't have a Steam Deck, I'd never would have played Persona 5 Royal. I don't think I would have ever thought I had the time to do it. I sunk like well over 100 hours into that game, and the Steam Deck made it possible for sure. It ran really well docked as well, so it's like a mix of handheld and docked. It was great to play on flights. Like I had a great time with it. Okay. I think that concludes that. Let's have a look at the monster arena now. See what's going on. See what we're done. Damn, that's wild. Yeah, I'm definitely curious when the update to the Steam Deck's going to come out. How long has it been? Has it been 3 years now? 3, 4 years? Okay, let's slow it back down again. Okay. Oh yeah, we got 99 stamina tonics as well. Nice. Don't need Kotobla Pass anymore. The update is a Steam machine. Yeah, good point, but it would be nice to have something that size, but that was still kind of powered up another tier or 2 nowadays. Okay, good. Can't be bothered. We'll come back to this stuff later. We'll see if there's anything we can beat in the monster arena. But not yet. Okay. Cool. Alright, we've definitely done enough of those. And yeah, good to see the love for the Steam Deck. And 99 megapixels is big, yes, agreed. We can now customize Auto Phoenix without having to farm. And yeah, the Steam Deck, I still think that's the only weakness. It's still a little too chunky. For how I travel and what I bring with me, it's not usually a problem, but I would definitely have preferred it if it was a little smaller. And maybe if they do update in the future, if it was like 20% smaller footprint or something, that would still make a pretty big difference for me. Alright, here we go. There's our Supreme Gems, and that's what we were after. The Mega Phoenixes were definitely a nice bonus. But that's what we were after. Alright, good. I was about to say, this might also unlock some steals for us that could be useful. And the rare steal is a return sphere. So if you want to get more first strikes, you can definitely do that as well. Okay, so let me have a look at my little list of things to do here. Okay, I think we're basically ready to go. I think for the equipment side of things, we'll do things a little more kind of hacky style. I mean, essentially, it's just buying a couple of things, but it's not a big deal. Let's just go to the airship. It's already been almost half of the session now. We need to get going. All right. We are back. So, the thing is here, we need to redo the Sin's Fins fights here as well. And the reason for that is that this strategy relies on something that I've never utilized before, basically in any playthrough I've ever done. One of the reasons why I couldn't come up with the strategy that we end up using in the last session myself is because part of this strategy relies on your Aeons having critical HP. And I've always kind of just thought, well, once you do this whole sequence of fights and before you get to Overdrive Sin, surely, like, because of how the game progresses, you basically get put back up to maximum HP. And it turns out that that's not actually the case. If you don't touch a save sphere and you try to do everything in one take, you can actually keep the HP numbers that you have at the end of Sin's head and use them for Overdrive Sin. And that's a really, like, that's absolutely key. And I'll explain things again once we actually do the fight. But for now, at least, just bear that in mind. We basically have to try and do everything in one take. I think autosave helps us to not really have to do that, but that's the general idea, basically. But yeah, I think Rin sells HP plus 10 and the free slots, right?
Any last-minute supplies before the showdown?
Okay. And well, we've picked up a lot of stuff, so we can literally start selling some of the things that we have too. So again, we're trying to keep things legit here. Yeah, don't need that. I mean, we don't really need this either. It always feels like bad selling this, but hey, Meteor Mirage, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Zombie Strike could be useful. 1 MP cost for a challenge like this is just... I don't think it's necessary. Make money. I think at this stage we can do better than this. Okay, I can't be bothered to go through all of them.
But of course, once Sin is gone, we'll need to be rebuilding home, you see.
Man, your dedication is really astounding.
May I help you?
Alright, so now what we can do is... we need to buy this for Kimari. Okay.
Thank you. Your patronage is very much appreciated.
I think, annoyingly, I think one thing we need, or that I want, I don't think it's specifically needed, but it would be kind of nice to have still, is a Victorious that covers all of the elements. And I think I'm one dragon scale short, so I think for that one I'm gonna hack that in. I think you can just go and steal it from the underwater fiends in Gagazette, maybe something like that. Alright, so now we need to make our preparations. And basically, from what... It's tough because this is a way of playing that I'm really not used to, and it goes against how I play. I'm always like... it's almost like a tick, it's like a habit that I have to touch the save spheres. And I save regularly, I touch the save spheres regularly. And so I have a bad feeling that I'm just going to instinctively, because I've just done it thousands of times, thousands and thousands of times over the years, I'm just going to touch that save sphere and heal my characters. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up doing that by accident, but I'll do my best. I think the one in Markalania gives you fish scales, not the dragon scales, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, now, does anyone remember what I customized for Riku against Sin's Fins? I think we had Auto Potion. And we had more HP. We had to double our HP. And we had Auto Potion. I think that... And we had HP plus, obviously. Now. I think I did have Auto Protect. I think I did. Okay. And there was something about placing Riku in the middle that I think was helpful. I got to remember to do that. Alright, so we're gonna... I did add one more Dragon Scale here for Riku as well. Okay. Let me save here. So hopefully this is the save I need. Hey James, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Alright, let's start to just get set up here. Basically, I ended up not needing Auto Potion on Auron because he was using up a lot of... the potions. So I think basically we get Riku to kind of solo the fins, and we get Auron to come in for Sinspawn Guinea. Stream is buffering a lot, or is it just me? Any other reports of the stream buffering a lot? Yeah, it's just making sure that Auron's in the front line for when we fight Sin's head. Stream is fine. Okay. Yeah, sorry all too. You're gonna have to have a look at that. Maybe refresh or do something. I don't know. Okay. So overdrives are another thing that I'm basically just going to set up in advance. It's the kind of thing that you could just go and prep before you begin this, but can't be bothered. So we're going to just get everybody some overdrive. Aeon's 2. Shiva does not have a full overdrive, neither does Bahamut. Make sure everybody does. So these are like, we have to be really meticulous and careful with our planning to pull this off properly. If you make like one mistake, then you have to restart the whole sequence from here, basically. Again. So let's double check this. Okay. Valifor will most definitely be needed with Energy Blast. Shiva will also be needed. And she has a full overdrive too. Touch save sphere. At this point, we're still allowed to touch save spheres. Yeah, I'm just thinking ordinarily what would we have done? We'd basically have to let ourselves get hit by the counter attack. I think more than likely these guys survive the counter. You just get hit by one or two counters, but I think it just makes it riskier. So I think you're probably right. That's probably a better way to do it. I don't know how much damage they take. Let's have a look. Which one can we teach? Okay. Yeah, I'm not concerned about the gaze. I'm more concerned about when we're prepping their overdrives, basically. Okay. I mean, if we just use shield, we'd already get down there, wouldn't we, Carithian? Like, let's say your Aeon's facing off against Sin's head, and you just use shield every turn. Yes, we'd take less damage from Gravija, but wouldn't we eventually just get to critical HP anyway? But whatever. So I'm not sure it's 100% necessary, but we'll have it in the toolkit anyway, just in case. Okay. So let's go back to customize. Yeah, okay. No, for a second I thought like it's a really big oversight. It would have been 100% necessary, but it's just a little kind of quality of life. Fair enough. Okay. Right, one thing at a time. Let's now prep Riku's... Let's just get the waterproof on this as well. Armada. Such a great name. Love that. Okay, so that's that one. And then we have the yellow Taj that's not so yellow. So for this we had Auto Potion. HP plus 30. Did we have HP plus 20 as well? We had both and then Auto Protect maybe? Was it 30, 20 Auto Protect? Was that the armor from last time? I had a look at the VOD for the Overdrive Sin fight, but I didn't rewind back further and have a look at Sin's fins, honestly. I forgot how much damage she took from the slam, but I think HP plus 20 is also necessary. I'm going to do it. And then... yeah, Auto Protect we're just going to customize on there. This would take some stealing, so again, even though we have done a lot of this prep legitimately, like we need to go and steal a whole bunch of light curtains to make that work. You could probably, I think you could get away without Auto Protect, honestly. Could you? Yeah, because was it the whole like when you're in the middle, it doesn't count towards the negation thing? I'm just trying to remember there was a mechanic like that that helped us out. I'm just trying to basically not have negation trigger. That's why I'm looking into it. That's why having the Auto Protect I thought was useful, and then during the fight when I was looking at stuff I was like, oh shit, if she's in the middle it doesn't bring up the counter. So she can manually put Protect on herself and should be okay. Okay, so I think Riku's ready. Now we have just about enough for Kimari's 1-2. So for Kimari, because we're going to self-destruct with him, we want as much HP as possible. So we're going to give him the full thing here. There you go. Okay. Okay, so what do we think? Are we ready? Do we have the right setup here? We're not going to have Auron at the start. Did we need to change overdrive mode here? Not sure we did. Don't think it matters. Okay. So I think this is the right setup. If I've missed anything, any of you guys from the last session, Carifian, Francisco, you guys especially, like if you're seeing that I'm missing anything, then let me know. But I think in this setup, we didn't need, like Yuna didn't need anything specific. Because basically, if everything goes right, Overdrive Sin's counter never hits the party. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe because we have the Supreme Gems available now, if Riku gets the first turn and just tosses it on Grenades, I'm not sure it's necessary anymore, but let's just do that for now. Oops. I don't think this one matters too much. Okay. So I think we should generally have everything we need. So now I'm going to put in a save. And I think now we can actually start the sequence again and see what happens. And if I mess anything up, we'll either restart if it hasn't been too long, or I'll just have to find some other way through. We'll see. Okay. So yeah, again, deliberately keeping Auron out of the front line here. I don't want him to just keep using Auto Potion and wasting resources.
I can hear the song! Yes, I can hear the hymn too. They listen to us!
I'm going to skip the FMVs and stuff when I can.
Down.
How does it work with the speeder?
You don't need this anymore, right?
Oh!
Right? Huh.
Always impressed by how far that throw is. It goes like 500 yards. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, the Auron versus Grenade. That was so good.
Hey, guys? Guys, that's not good, yeah?
Got to watch the VOD for that. Who knows, man? Maybe it will. I don't know. Eh, it's fine. Valor will just swoop down and catch him as well. That's what Valor does. Yeah, good point, Nev. True. Strong arm. Get him in the NFL. Silence.
Huh? Oh.
I do love the visual of this FMV, so I just wanted to see it one more time. Such a great shot. Yeah, I think it's a great decision, the way that they completely muted everything there. It works really well.
Damn you, old man.
Hey, I saw something shine at the base of Sheen's arm. I reckon it's a weak spot. Good! Fred!
Sin's pulling us in!
Everyone, back inside!
Okay, here we go. So, let's see. Let's basically, we could kind of prep nice and slowly. Get Riku ready for action. Okay, I think basically we did this, and then I still did the hyper null, basically like get the 5 times cheer as well. I think it's necessary. Is it necessary? I just don't remember the damage numbers that specifically, that like how much damage you took from those slams. If we just have protect, do we think we have enough? Or do I really need the hyper null? If so, then I probably should have put her in stoic. That would have been better. I think protect is enough, yeah. We'll just find out. If we screw it up, we screw it up. Okay. Let's see.
Closer! Go closer!
Just a minute! Don't be falling now!
Yeah, I think we should be fine. Yes, I think this time she'll trigger an auto potion after 1 hit instead of after 2 hits, but it's probably still fine. I think we can make a start. 65,000. Okay. So now I can basically just use Supreme Gems the whole way through, no? Why not? Larbear96, welcome to the stream. Lovely day to be playing Final Fantasy X. It's always a lovely day to be playing Final Fantasy X. Alright, here's the first slam. We'll see if we got this badly wrong. Okay, yeah, that works. Oh, just saying those Tannon cars. Advertisers aren't an uncle. Sheesh. Now there's a Final Fantasy X-3 I'd play. Alright, let's start to speed up. We get the point. This fight, obviously, we already did in the last sesh. But yeah, looking pretty good so far. Whoa, L no, doing the cool thing that they tend to do, just kind of lurking in the shadows and then just dropping in and just being awesome. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships. Enjoy your memberships, my friends. Oh yeah, it is working, but I'm still like not super used to using that. I think like my reflex is still to use the built-in one. Okay. So far, so good. Coryphean wants to hear the Supreme Gems. Okay, fine. There you go, Coryphean. For you. Yeah, thankfully we don't need the rare steals anymore. Like, we don't need this. We're doing it again because we're trying to do it legitly. Because it's one of the best, like, coolest setups and strats that we've come up with for a long time. Yeah, last time was a very hacky test run, and I kind of want to just try and pull it off, like, for reals. I do plenty of, like, proof of concept-y kind of fights, but this one I actually wanted to do it because it's a method of... Like, it's a method I've never used before. I've never won a boss fight like this before. So I think for this Finn, we didn't have to think too much. It was the other one that got dangerous. I think when it was below 16,000 and something, it basically we got caught in an infinite loop, so we had to be careful. Exactly, real and alive. That's what we're going for this time.
Here goes. Everyone, hold on to something. Here we go.
Here we go. There you go, I was waiting for that. Thank you, Real. Okay. So I think that one went pretty smoothly. Mercs, you.
Got it. Couldn't have done it without you. All right.
Interesting word.
Everyone look sharp. Time to hit the other side.
Easy for you to say.
I haven't heard Merc since like I was like 15 in high school or something. Okay. So let's set back up again. Sin's chilling. Okay. Just thinking, is there a way to bring in Orin before we finish it off? Or should I bring him in now? Basically, like after I start, once I get closer and I start doing damage, am I gonna kind of get stuck and not be able to bring in Orin properly? Might not be a good idea. Yeah, but I'm just thinking before the last 2 hits as well, it's not like it stops slamming, you know what I mean? Maybe after a Graviga or something. I think I'd rather do it now. Yes, we're going to waste some more... Just worried about like bringing someone in, they just get slammed to death. Basically, I want Orin to still have maximum HP if we can manage it. But I guess he's got first strike anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Alright, let's just, I think, start making moves.
Closer! Go closer!
Just a minute. Don't be falling now.
We'll see if this ends up being a mistake. I think the problem is those guys are just not going to end up getting a turn. That was my fear. They're not going to get a turn. And then I won't be able to swap them out as a result, you know? Let me just hold on. I'm going to do it now. I'm not going to take a risk here. But I should probably still give him the first strike. Only the left pin can ram even at 0 hits taken. Question is, do we keep him with his first strike? Or with this? I think we still keep it first strike, maybe. Because at least I could still then use Banishing Blade if I really needed to, or something like that. I feel like this still gives me a better option. Yeah, so this gives us time to set up, but I think once we kind of get going... I'm just going to set up like this still. Just need to keep an eye on the HP. Alright, let's go. Oops, almost threw a candle of light. The next fight is the most important one in this sense, because that's where we need to prep our Aeons. That's that's going to be where the magic happens, if we can get it right. Okay. $35. $25. Right, there's a ram. Right, there's your Ravija. So this is where we need to start being really careful. We're going to toss a Shining Gem instead. I don't want to push over the threshold. Ooh, that's tight. I'm going to throw one more thing in case the Supreme Gems don't hit for like full damage. Worth setting one Aeon up here and having it land the final blow. Not sure. I think we're fine to do it in the next fight. Okay. Okay, so this is how we can finish the fight off. 2 Supreme Gems. So we're still on track, I think, unless I've made a mistake. I think we're good. We're going to toss this. The next move is going to be Ravija. And then we're going to toss the second Supreme Gem to finish it off. Let's do it. Okay, back up to full HP. Tynus being dead here obviously is like, it'd be nice if he wasn't, but let's just finish it off. Let's do this. Okay. I'll be back in a sec, need a mini toilet break.
Fiend? Farija umo pakia.
Tidra shike, edek nuga.
De drid lidpa.